Hi, I'm Chris. I'm an alcoholic in long term recovery. If you're a blue collar worker on the job site, in the shop, or even out there driving a big rig, and you're white knuckling your way through early sobriety, I have some things that may help. Most advice out there is just too soft for people that are in our position in life. I've been covered in the dust. I've been out there fighting in the field, um, trying to ignore those 5 p.m. cravings after a long shift. I also know that willpower just isn't quite enough to get me through that. I really had to start relying on my faith. Um, my higher power is Jesus Christ, but um, there are many different higher powers I've heard about from many different people. It's just best to find one that suits you. It's definitely not something that needs too much thought, especially in the beginning. The whole idea behind it really is to just um, get us away from ourself a bit. Not necessarily will our way through lives as a lot of us, especially me, tend to do. Out there in active addiction. The higher power definitely helped me through. And the best thing I found about that is my higher power is always available, all hours of the night, every day of the week. And I can also tell my higher power everything, no matter what. I would do the same with a sponsor, of course, but my higher power actually, everything goes all the time. It's actually a pretty wonderful thing. AA, I would have to say, is probably the second or maybe tied at first for me. AA has helped me tremendously. The fellowship of peers, I find the most helpful, right? These are people that are basically from all walks of life, folks that you may never even meet anywhere else, but they offer the most help I've found because they're speaking from real life experience. There's not many places you can get that, especially when really it doesn't cost much at all, if anything. Biggest thing is not to overcomplicate things, keep things simple, try to stay consistent, but the biggest thing is to just keep working at it. Simplicity has always been the best plan of attack for me, especially in the beginning phases. Just trying to get a plan together to figure out what's going to work. There's an acronym, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. I know that one's been beat to death, but it is what it is. It's there for a reason, like some of the other ones. The first 90 days is an absolute war. It's more about attrition than it is all out effort all at once. As once again, the things that matter most in life seem to do better with consistent efforts. Same would apply here. Definitely, though, the first 90 are the most crucial, and the one thing to remind yourself of or try to remember the most is that if change is the ideal outcome, then change is what it takes to achieve it. And what I found for myself, my last attempt, my most successful as well, by the way, April 19th of this year will be 3 years without alcohol for me. That's the longest I've ever gone, and I'm doing the best I ever have. Fitness for me was a game changer for sure. Fitness does so many things. The very first, I would say, benefit that comes almost immediately would be the gym can replace dopamine spikes. And aside from the dopamine part of it, discipline is also very good to practice, especially in recovery. I would say most aspects in life, but especially in recovery, and especially in those first 90 days. But that also, the fitness part for me led to overall better decision making. I became more health conscious. I got smarter about my nutrition and my hydration. In turn, that led to better sleep. So I felt better. I looked better. Even so much to the point that people started noticing and commenting on the improvements that I wasn't sure anybody would notice, or I kind of wrote off myself. I also struggle with low self-esteem, which is pretty common in this category. No surprise there. But yes, the change was incredible. But also, with the fitness and the nutrition, another main benefit I would say would just be overall quality of life and the return of some self-belief. You know, I've dealt with a lot of shame and guilt in the past, a lot more than now, of course. But it can be a lot to handle. And that for me led to low self-esteem, you know, lots of self-doubt. And also something I used to hear a lot about in recovery situations and group settings was the catastrophic type thinking or black and white thinking, always expecting things to go wrong. And that's not a great place to be. But you know, all of these improvements, and when you feel better and you look a little better, you know, things change, and that self-esteem builds up a little bit. You know, you get those endorphins going, you have a new healthy way to release the dopamine. It's just a wonderful thing, and it can take us so much farther in life as well. And I can honestly say that from experiencing this uplifting with the health and recovery accomplishments, anything becomes possible as long as we put our entire mind and all of our effort towards things. Or what we might have thought before was the impossible, if we are all in with our time, devotion, and our mindset, things that seemed impossible before are no longer impossible. It's amazing. With that being said, there are a lot of benefits that wait on the other side of these first 90 days. And although they are very challenging, there are rewards waiting, and it does get better. So with that, I'd like to invite you to the community, to the page, as this is day one for the channel. The work doesn't stop just because you're getting clean, right? The work doesn't stop once we get sober. And it doesn't necessarily get easier either. Things tend to get harder before they start to get easy or easier. But when they do, when the tides shift, it's an amazing place to be in life. You're not doing this alone anymore. If you're ready to take your life back, hit that subscribe button. And feel free to join the community here, the brotherhood. One shift at a time, one day at a time. See you on the next one.